we've talked a little bit about working with younger clinicians and making that transition out of being a student into a practicing clinician, into a licensed person, et cetera. What do you do to work with and prevent or handle burnout, compassion fatigue?
Well, I am very intentional about that, but I'm kind of lucky because I don't have to try. You know, like I do remember when my children were young and I was working and doing all the things, people would say, well, you just need to make time for self-care. Well, if only. That would be so nice. Can you come babysit for me? But I have always had this intrinsic drive towards being really active, and I also love to be in my own head. You know, I like to think and read and hear stories and all of that. So I don't have to try to, you know, create this space for myself. It comes with ease for me, but not everybody has the luxury of time, so I want to acknowledge that too. But I do find that, or I remember anyway, when I was a younger clinician, I was so excited about the work that I worked my tail off, you know, and I thought I will never get tired of this, which was completely incorrect.
Entirely.
Yes, entirely. So there were periods where I was tired and I felt like, I don't know, you know, can I sustain this? And rather than, you know, going all in and working too hard and then reacting by quitting, I realized that the fatigue was more of like a tap on the shoulder, like you need to slow it down a little bit. And that's part of becoming a seasoned clinician, is knowing your own limits and then responding to them as much as you can within your context.
Just curious.
Yeah.
How far into your career did you start to notice that tap on your shoulder?
I would say, well, it took a while. Not a fast learner. I would say probably maybe 4 years into my private practice. And then, you know, starting a business is its own, that's a topic for like a whole other episode, where I had to relearn it, because when you start a business, you wear all the hats at first, and moving between, you know, being a therapist and then, you know, scheduling appointments, a biller, a scheduler, you know, that's the way it is when you first start. So I had to learn that it's okay to delegate some things, and I shouldn't control everything, and I needed help, which I got. And but yeah, so I'd say for private practice it took about 4 years. For the business, probably another 4. So it was a minute.
A hot minute,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yes. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think this is also, again, it's one of those things that has changed as I've gotten more seasoned in my career and in myself, and understand myself more as a person. The thing that I do is I need like diversity of thought and diversity of experience. Yeah. Yeah. And so like that's one of the things that I really love about my role as clinical director at ITTC, is that it's a lot of different things going on at different times, whether it's a podcast or clinical supervision or running a group supervision or something along those lines, or dealing with a client issue that has popped up for one of our clinicians or our staff members. The bouncing around of that helps keep me fresh and keeps me on my toes. I have found in other positions where I've had sort of a singular role and a singular mission that it's that I kind of just slow down and my thoughts aren't as curious. Almost like the more that I have going on, the more I want to read, the more I want to listen to a podcast, the more I want to check something out, or even it also inspires other things for me, like creativity. I find that if I'm sitting down for too long and not exercising my brain, that I have a fogginess. So that diversity of thought kind of keeps me going and has really contributed to a sense of balance. There was a time in my career where I didn't really feel that. Before I came to work at Integrated Trauma Treatment Center, I had a private practice and I was teaching, and I really enjoyed that diversity, but that was it. It was the same classes every quarter, maybe another one here or there that was a little bit different. And my clients always brought new and interesting things, but the day looked relatively the same each day. And I needed that to be shifted around and shaken up a little bit in order for me to feel balanced.
Yeah, I think that is something actually that people don't talk a lot about in terms of self-care, is that, and we're trying as a clinic too to figure out how to offer diversity of work to our clinicians, because it is sustaining to do different things and doing different things that support what you care most about can be really helpful for longevity. So I'm glad you brought that up.